Today we are going to be exploring the concepts of perfectionism and how it is different from excellence. And this will basically be an invitation for you to ditch perfectionism and to embrace your uniqueness. Be more gentle with yourself. Magic is all about going with the flow and finding the flow and figuring out how you fit into that. And perfectionism is basically the opposite of going with the flow. Perfectionism is swimming upstream. Perfectionism is the boulder that blocks the flow of water and makes it part, gives it resistance. Perfectionism is when you are so focused on the need to be right, you miss the opportunity to live in the present, to be in the present, and to notice what's going on around you. So it is time to celebrate uniqueness, your uniqueness, to celebrate your challenges, to celebrate your obstacles that you might face, that might be in your path, and to celebrate the general imperfection of life. So imperfection is a tool that you can use to help you to go with the flow and to find organization in the chaos. To do that, you need to release your perfectionism or your need to control things. So I'm going to tell you a story about my anxiety. So I think a lot of people struggle with anxiety on different levels, but for me, it comes down to I often get in my own way as far as putting things out there. So a lot of what I do in Mumbles and things involves chatting with people through Skype. I record videos like this one. I started recording podcasts, which I haven't released yet because I'm not ready to, but there will be podcasts on the horizon, recording meditations and things like that. What it comes down to for me is that with the recordings especially, I have this anxiety of it not being perfect. So I live in an apartment building. There are people on all walls. Behind me, I can always hear them practicing guitar. On the other side, I can hear them watching TV. The front door faces the stairwell, so I'm always hearing people coming and going. They're talking about where they've been or where they're going. And downstairs, they play music really loudly, or it's video games. I'm not really sure, but it vibrates the floor. It's really loud. And we actually chose the top floor of the building because we didn't want people to be walking on our heads. But it turns out that the maintenance people go up there pretty frequently, almost daily. I'd say they go up there daily because the air conditionings are on the roof. And in Florida, when an air conditioning unit breaks, that is an emergency maintenance call. Like you can call maintenance at any hour of the day if your air conditioning breaks. So I don't know if they're up there just checking to do preemptive, making sure that they don't break, or if somebody's air conditioning unit is breaking every day. But either way, we hear people walking around upstairs. And all of this is to say that there's noises going on around me, and I worry that they would interfere with the audio. And that's not even to mention the two monsters I live with, these two cats who get into mischief. They're very talkative. I don't know if you just heard that, but they have this really loud feeder. They have all these toys and things. They love to chase each other. We have an Alexa who thinks she hears her name all the time. She just woke up because I said her name. So she's always talking to me. The fan in my computer sometimes affects the audio, which is one of the main reasons I wear the earbuds, besides the cats and everything. That's really all of these noises. The earbuds are what has calmed my anxiety about the audio being ruined. But the fan can affect the quality. The air conditioning comes on. It affects the quality of the audio. I time when I use the dishwasher. I time when I use the Roomba because around when I want to be doing recordings because that noises can affect the audio. And this used to give me a lot of anxiety, and part of what helped calm the anxiety is figuring out that there's a microphone in these headphones, and that can really tune out external noises. But what was more important was figuring out what the root cause of this anxiety was. So I was wanting to produce the impossible, which is a perfect video, or a perfect podcast, or a perfect meditation recording. And that is impossible. Perfection and perfectionism are impossible. And so figuring out the root of that problem, that there's no such thing as a perfect video, that really helped me to soothe my anxiety. And sometimes this anxiety actually held me back from doing it. I would say, okay, well, I can't do it right now because they're playing guitar over there. It'll be ruined. Sometimes I would never get around to it. Some things that I've wanted to do, I still haven't gotten around to. But like I said, I figured out how to cure the symptom, which was to use the headphones. And I figured out what the root of the issue was, which was that I was being a perfectionist. And I realized that it doesn't matter. What matters is me taking the time to actually make it, doing the things that I want to produce, creating the content. Perfectionism takes control over the situation. So what matters more than anything is getting what you want to do, get that done. And of course, there's this important aspect of committing to the excellence of it. I want to create a product that is perfect, but what's more important is to settle for a certain level of perfect. It doesn't have to be the most perfect. I care about the service. I care about creating the connection. I care about the artistry of it. And I care about the thought that goes on behind the scenes of me planning and all of that and researching. And all of that contributes to something that, in my opinion, I think is excellent. And it may not be perfect, but it's out there. I was able to move past the anxiety and get something completed. So if it can't be perfect, which it can't be perfect. So it should be completed and there should be a commitment to excellence. And that's kind of where I came down to, because perfectionism can take control of the situation, and perfectionism can be really annoying. It can be so frustrating when you're unable to make progress because you are micromanaging and you're paying extreme attention to detail. But a commitment to excellence is totally different. You can deliver a beautiful product, or I can deliver a beautiful product that I've created with love and care. And again, I care about that certain level of perfection, but I've learned to recognize that it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. What I want it to be is the level of perfect that I can achieve in that moment. And so caring about the level of perfection that is unachievable or unrealistic, that results in an uncompleted product, and that is ultimately harmful for the future. So today, I want you to examine your life, see where you have held yourself back based on your need to control, or where you're letting perfectionism hinder your progress. And I'm going to give you a couple of tools and some things to think about next. So then these will help you to build your awareness so that you can identify the difference between the need to control a situation and your commitment to excellence. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Bye.